Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, the Raven, here, bringing you some more Path of Exile action. This is after the Forsaken Masters update, which is really awesome. They gave me a free respect on my character, so I'm much more powerful magic-wise. You can see my stats are way more buff. I have 917 max life. My energy shield's pretty down. It went down to 493, but now respected because I changed, certain things, because, the energy shield wasn't so much as important as it was for me to be able to kill my enemies outright. So anyway, 883 max mana, which after my respect, I made it to my regeneration. My mana regeneration rate is so high, I never run out of magic. I can do any spell in my repertoire infinitely without having to pause for mana. As you look at the numbers in the bottom left, you see it'll tick down and tick right back up. Last time I checked my stats, when I quit playing yesterday, I had 45.1 mana per second regeneration rate, which is, so some spells don't even cost 40 mana. So you can imagine me not running out of juice, so to speak. So anyway, Chamber of Sins, I really love this. It's fun, it's hard, and it's just amazing. The main draw to this game for me is the detail on the monsters and the detail on the environments they have you go into. Especially here, like, look how nasty them couches and ruined chairs and stuff are. It's so gross. You can imagine it is like a chamber of sins. And the zombies, they leave down a cloud of poison, which will kill you if you're not paying attention to your health. But right now I'm using one of my favorite spells, the Incinerator. It's so good at clearing rooms in dungeons. It's unbelievable. I mean, you just keep setting guys on fire. I mean, it just knocks dudes out. It's merciless. It's one of the best power-ups. So let's push on. I like the detail on the zombies. They rot, they moan, and you can see them standing around like kind of lost when they don't know you're there. And then when you actually do engage them, they change their demeanor or whatever. It's amazing. I like that. I really enjoy dungeon crawling games, and my main draw for these types of games is the differences in the monsters, how they're designed. It makes you want to know what's gonna come next. First you're killing lightning skeleton, then you're killing poison zombies. Like, what else is gonna come out? Golden spiders. What all monsters are in this game. So that's my main thing for these dungeon crawler, Diablo type games. I really love kicking monster ass. I guess that's why looting is okay. Sometimes it gets annoying, like right now, you get inventory full, so you have to make a quick dash back to the town, which we're doing now to hurry up, put some stuff up, and get rid of some things. But never fear, ladies and gentlemen, I never waste too much time in the towns, especially on camera. But in these types of games, it comes to a point where your inventory will fill up on you, and you just got to go and take care of business. So anyway, I always identify rare items, and it depends on my needs whether or not I identify just regular magic items. So anyway, if you hold down control when you click on any armor or material, it'll automatically zoom over to the merchant side, and trust me, that's a lifesaver, because grabbing each individual item and dragging it into a slot, using the mouse, will get on your nerves really, really fast. So anyway, that's a good tip for any of y'all who didn't know. Hold down the control key when you click on items. It also works in your inventory too. If you already have your inventory set up, you can match, and you have something already in a stack that matches. You can hold down the control key and it'll also go over there, which I'm not doing this time because I'm excited to get back, so I'm not focused really on being precise. I'm just like, hurry up, put this stuff up, make sure everything's going back to where it should go. Bam. Alright, now we're back to the Chamber of Sins, level 1. Also, going to the town is a quick way to refill your flask. If you find yourself in a tough spot, monsters have pretty much put a licking on you, and you're at you had to heal yourself, or emergency use flask or whatever. Going to town automatically refills your flask. So that's a good trick, which actually I learned that from my sister. She was like, hey, did you just go to town and fill up your stuff, that way, because sometimes with Path of Exile, like, you'll be in an area and you'll be out of flask because you took a beating or whatever, but they they fill up on their own by killing enemies. But sometimes there's not enough regular small enemies left, especially if you're facing like a really powerful boss, and you've already like kind of mopped up the rest of the map pretty much. And then but there's that really powerful boss left that can put you in a real tight spot. That's happened to me a couple of times, where you clear up every single enemy and there's nothing left but the super powerful boss, and you have no small enemies to fill up your flask. So it's a good thing to know is to go back to the town and make sure you get that problem taken care of. And anyway, look at this. Look at the room clearing ability of the incinerator move. I mean, it's great on bosses too. I mean, it just lays dudes out, man. I would say my second favorite spell, which is a newcomer, is the lightning ball lightning. I mean, every time I play a RPG style video game and it has that spell in it, I mean, it just kicks the crap out of monsters. I mean, it's one of the best ideas, and it looks cool. So I check the loot, and look at the bodies. Like, man, look how trashy and junky and nasty everything is. I bet you the place smells to high heaven. Like, I mean, it's gotta be like the stankiest like dungeon ever. Look at those nasty couches, man. It's like, ugh. Silk robes, a lot of silk robes. Anyway, never ignore any treasure chest or pot or anything, no matter how small, because you never know what'll pop out of it. Trust me, especially if you have a little bit of, if you have your rare item finding, stat increased a little bit through an item or something like that. So let's check this strange device, which it has to do with the story, but it's not something like, it doesn't give you an item. Which every time I come to this area, I think, oh, I need to talk to this thing and get something special. It's just part of the story. There is an achievement for reading like every piece of lore or story-driven piece of text that you find. So I try to read everything, but I don't know. There's like posters and all types of stuff that are hidden in certain areas I haven't found yet. So, I haven't got that achievement yet. But anyway, new zombie, incinerate. The one thing I don't like about incinerator is I wish it had a little bit more reach, and I wish it would, the time it took to recharge itself, to step up in intensity. I wish that was almost instantly, you could get to level 3 intensity instantly. That would be amazing. But then the spell would be too OP, and that wouldn't work. So yeah, everything has to have a piece to it that's not so great. Wait, Necromancer. And this one I thought was particularly stupid because Necromancers are more magic type enemies, and this one just tried to walk up to me and punch me. So when he first came out, I was like, really? Necromancer's gonna do some physical damage? I didn't take him seriously at all. Now see, here is a problem. I'm not watching my health. And it's not that I'm taking damage from the enemies. I'm standing in the cloud of poison from the zombies. You see, I cleared the enemies, but then I just dropped dead. And it's because my energy shield is up, but poison is one of the moves that goes through energy shield. Because energy shield only blocks physical attacks and magical attacks that are physical. It doesn't prevent you from being poisoned or anything like that. So small mistake on my part right there. No big deal. It happens. Because sometimes you're so busy fighting monsters and killing it, you're just simply not, paying attention to all aspects. So anyway, no big deal. Whenever you die, you get an option to either start back at the town, go back to town. Maybe you can gear up or change spells or whatever, or you can just start the next checkpoint, which for me, which is usually the entrance of the dungeon you come to. So anyway, and this time I'm paying attention after that mistake, so I put out my healing totem to make sure my health is always being refilled. So, simple mistakes, can be easily dealt with or whatever. Just the thing is, though, you want to make sure you have enough power for the area you're exploring, because if you don't have enough power for the area you're exploring, you will get killed. You know what I'm saying? You won't be able to pass it. So me, I don't care if I die, because I made a mistake, I'm not paying attention to my health, or I'm kind of screwing around or whatever. But I am very conscious of my stats and power to make sure that if I'm serious, seriously playing, I do have the ability to kill the enemies and bosses in a certain area. I do try to make sure I'm always up to speed on power. As you can see, and this, now I'm not bullshitting, I'm really letting loose with lightning and everything. The ball of lightning is a good room clear too. It's more of a hallway clear. It's really good at clearing hallways. And I'd say my second favorite thing about these Diablo type games is not only the unique monsters, and how evil can they get, how fierce can they get, how strong can they get, what new abilities do they get. My second favorite thing about these types of games is what can you do yourself? Like how can you change up? Like what can you find? What new spells can you find? What new skills can you find? Can you make arrows that drain health and explode on impact and all that type of stuff? Like what all can you do? And Path of Exile has very deep character customization. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can change up skills and power things up. Like my Ice Nova here, I haven't worked on it yet. This is when I first entered the Chamber of Sins. And as I find new spells, you work more. Like right there, I just found the Frostbite spell. That's actually a curse. It doesn't do direct damage. It only makes targets hit by it weak to cold damage. And later on I'll do some experiments with that to mix it with that Ice Nova, and that's what I really enjoy. Like how can you change yourself up too to match these crazy enemies that are, coming through slaughtering and creeping around in like the dank ruins or whatever. Bam, more room clearing. You can see leveling up gems. And here's one of my favorite things to encounter in any area, and that is a Vol corrupted area. As you can see, when you see that area of red light covering a door and it has like a purple sign over it, I mean, you're in business. Those things, if you think the regular monsters are like really intense and it's fun to fight them, go to a corrupted area. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, Vol corrupted areas are like the best areas you can find in the game, and this is what they look like. But I'm trying to like check this gear out. But anyway, they all, if you look at here, they have 35% cold resistance, and the area yields 8% more items. So it really helps. They really help with looting. They always give the enemy some kind of boost, which just being a little bit resistant to cold, that's not a very big boost. I've seen way worse. Like sometimes the enemies can have 3 times normal strength. There's areas where the ground is like lightning or frost or something, and it always affects you. It's really fun, it's really intense, it's really challenging. The Vol areas are pretty crazy, but I'm gonna save those for another video because they deserve their own videos. I mean, the enemies and bosses are in there are insane. Like I'm telling you, a Vol corrupted boss is insane. It's insanely hard and it's insanely fun. I mean, every now and then you'll get a weak one. I mean, the game isn't perfect. Every now and then you'll get an area spawn where a boss spawn and it's not that. And see, that's a lag zombie there. Whenever there's an enemy that, like, no matter what you do, the spells won't touch it, but it's not doing damage to you, it's only there because of lag. It's just like graphics. It's not a real enemy. If you push forward, usually the game will catch up, and then that guy will disappear and reappear somewhere else. But anyway, like you see that snake boss is just like slithered away in the corner there. Like, you think those things are something? Really wait until you reach a Vol area. When you get to a Vol area, I mean, it's really fun. So anyway, let's go through some more. And here's the stairs to the second level. And when another rule of thumb for these types of areas in Path of Exile, the deeper you go or the higher up you go in levels or whatever, the more intense the enemies get. So like, be prepared for a step up, literally a step up in their abilities and the damage they can take and put out. So anyway, we'll make sure that we've covered every area, because I like to make sure I've cleared everything, because in order to get power you need experience. And if you don't have experience, I mean, you're not going to get power, you're going to be weak, and you can't progress through the game. So it's important to clear areas. Sometimes it's boring, it's not the most fun part of the game, especially if you didn't kill just about everything. There's only like 2 like slug monsters lurking in a corner in the back part of the dungeon. You know, you gotta kind of trudge around to find them. That's kind of annoying. But like I say, you know, there's good and bad with every type of video game. So anyway, and plus I like these lightning skeleton enemies. I mean, they look cool as hell. And they're just simply, you know, they're fun to fight. And here we have our snake mini boss. And he's gonna go down fast. Look at his health. See, Incinerator just don't play. If any boss or enemy is stupid enough to just stand in the stream, I mean, you're dead. So I made quick work of that guy. Yeah, hell yeah, more dudes. As you can see, mana never runs out. And I have a fireball spell, but I don't. It's undynamic. They changed the graphics after the update, and it doesn't look as dynamic as, you know, it used to. And also, it's practical. Like, it's really powerful, but it only hits one enemy at a time. You know what I'm saying? And if it explodes, it'll hit multiple enemies, but it's not the same as a direct hit. So, but you know, every spell can be worked with. You know, jerry rigged. It can be, you can add stats to it to make it, you know, do better, perform better. And that's why, you know, the point I made earlier about, you know, changing yourself as well as, you know, the enemies changing up is one of the reasons why I like these types of games. So if there's a spell that is great in power, like it kills when it hits, but just the fact that it doesn't, you know, have that pizzazz you want, don't immediately abandon it. Like, keep all gems. That's one thing. Keep all spells and skills, even if you don't use them, because you never know what you can combine later on to make something really, really crunk and special. I mean, like really, really ass-kicking stuff. And as I bring you more Path of Exile videos, y'all see that I've changed up different styles. And if you pay attention to the effects of my abilities, you'll notice that they're not just ice. Like that Ice Nova is also, it puts lightning damage on people, which really helps out if they become frozen, because the lightning damage acts as a second hit and it shatters, you know, all the enemies that have been frozen. So it's like you can put lightning on ice, you can put ice and fire together. Beyond that, I mean, there's just so many things you can do. Like I haven't played as a melee character yet, but I imagine that's pretty fun too, because I've seen some really powerful boss melee characters that, you know, have some like really powerful builds. So like whatever your style of play, if you like in your face action, if you like to cast spells from a distance, if you're kind of more like an in-between medium guy, like you can cast magic and, you know, fight with fight dudes in their face or whatever. I mean, you can do it. I think it is a little bit harder though. I will say it's harder to mix styles because it takes longer to get powerful, and this Necromancer is swear. Necromancers are the worst, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you encounter one, make sure you take it out directly, because if you waste time killing this Revenants with it raised, you know, you'll get surrounded real quick, and then they do cast other magics besides just raising the dead around you. One thing I've been encountering, especially on crew level difficulty, is the Necromancers will cast curses on you, which that kind of sucks big time. And there's a curse that can make you silent, where you can't do any melee damage or cast spells, and that really sucks big time. Like when you get hit with that, you know, you have to take off running. So anyway, know when to run and know when to fight. I mean, a big part of the game as well. And right now, just making sure I've killed everything, which I believe I have. And see, look at that. A regular old chest gave me a chromatic orb. So I always check all chests. So anyway, I'm your host, Raven. Thank y'all for watching. Little speed boost there, you know, the backtrack. I will be bringing y'all more intense Path of Exile action. Like, comment, and subscribe. And get at me. If you have your own channel, you have videos that you know you want people to check out, let me know. And I'll check them out for you, because I mean, it's no big thing. It's all free. You know, it's no hard work in, you know, watching someone else's videos. So anyway, thank y'all for watching once again. Have a great day. Get Path of Exile is free on Steam. It's free for PC. You don't have to pay a single dime. I have not paid one red cent. And you know where I'm about to go, back to that corrupted area. So anyway, I'm gonna bring that to y'all too, because I have recorded that. Thank y'all for watching, and have a good day.